You are on the continent of Morridan, a continent that is seemingly entwined with war. But 1,000 years ago, well, war first began. It began towards the northeast. But it actually all began with the goal of peace, believe it or not, as there were scattered peoples everywhere. Towns, cities, villages, all around, just trying to survive, do their own, for ages. And then they began to unite together, for a better tomorrow, for a better world. And they formed the Alliance, to protect each other from the dangers of the world. This alliance would later become known as the Empire, but not yet. So this alliance spread across the majority of Morridan, excluding the Morridan coast, which they had already formed their own government by this time, as it spread northwest to a region primarily populated by the elves. They did not want to be part of this global alliance. They did not want their customs mixed and diluted. They did not want to be mixed with inferior beings, as that's how elves looked upon most other races at the time. Politically and for years, tensions rose between the Alliance and the elves. It is unknown truly who started the first attack, but the history books all say it was the elves. War sparked, and the Alliance during this time became known as the Empire. The war ended some years later though. Not too long, only about 15 years. With the elves finally losing, but the Empire sought to set an example, and wiped out the elvish capital, leaving a massive crater in its wake. And how they did this, no one knows. The lake, it then became a lake, as this crater filled in enough water over the years, leaving only 3 elvish cities left: Nalinor, Yalin, and Infidel. Many elves stayed here after the Empire took over, and they adjusted to the new life. Not all elves. Many elves indeed also fled to the dangerous Enchanted Isle, to attempt to create a new elven empire. Litter is known to their success to this day, as very few dare to journey into the Enchanted Isle. Some many years now, a few hundred actually, it was almost a time of peace. During these years, the Empire formed better relations with the Morridan coast. They even resurrected a city together, named Ank'Rel, a joint city governed by both the Morridan coast and the Empire, a city acting as a border between the two governments. Sadly, peace then ended when the orcs attacked. Many people remember the Orc Wars. Some way, some forms, and now everyone was affected. Whether it was their grandfather, their parents, friend. Orc Wars affected you somehow. They officially ended less than 100 years ago. They first came out of nowhere. Millions of ships and billions of orcs, flooding both the Empire and the Morridan coast. These full-blooded orc hordes slaughtered, pillaged, raped, and slayed their way across the lands, burning people, villages, everything on their path. Death and destruction followed. During this wartime, many people from the Morridan coast went north to fight the good fight. Minotaurs, Loxodons, as well as vice versa. Many elves and dwarves fled south to help in the Morridan coast, as war was everywhere, lasted hundreds and hundreds of years. Slowly, very slowly, slowing down, until it was officially declared finished 97 years ago. But to this day, there are still hordes of orcs out there lurking, come out of hiding every now and then from a cave, and attack an unfortunate soul wandering by. This was the last war on Morridan, until now. Over the last 5 years or so, tensions rose, primarily between the Dwarven War North and the rest of the Empire. And these tensions grew between the immense taxation policy, the new policies overall, and the mining regiment set on the dwarves. They had enough. They made their move on March 20th, 1 year ago, on a day that would become known as Black Skies. Black Skies took many. The dwarves took control of many places: Camlodia, Cadgrig, Fortbodia, Kotorum, Valerium, Snowbush, and even the Combe Mountains. The dwarves also tried to take control of Redgar and Infidel, but failed. After this fateful day, Black Skies, war broke out across the continent, and is still going on to this very day. So, you, adventurer, what does your role in these trying times? Will you pick a side, help the dwarves reclaim their land? Will you help the Empire unite once more? Will you investigate the rising goblin threat? They began attacking in the broad daylight. Great numbers, coordinated strikes and attacks. Small towns even rumored to be taken. In fact, you were ambushed by a horde of goblins. Tactically. Or you were more worried about something else. About an ally of yours, Joe Mama, who for the first time in his 38 years of his life, faithful to his goddess Sarenrae, has been spoken to by her, directly, about a threat. A threat she cannot see clearly. A threat from another world, another realm, threatening to tear yours asunder. So, adventurer, I ask you, what are you going to do? You can make a difference. You can change things. So what are you waiting for, squabbling over petty corn? And do something about it!